Wasp, issue number 3, the penultimate issue. Why is it that two of my favorite books this year, or of recent time, like the new Champion of Shazam and the Janet Van Dyne book, are only getting 4 issues? That sucks. We couldn't do 6? Was 6 impossible for both of those titles? Was it? I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. It does not make me happy. Does not make me happy. Does not invoke joy. Very upset by that. Nonetheless, issue 3 of this book is really good. I still love this series more than a lot of people. I have been championing a good Janet Van Dyne story, and this one is really good. It is so good, actually, that I'm impressed we actually have it, because it feels like it is so true to the character in dealing with themes that are inherently Wasp for both Nadia and Janet, and does something cool. At the end of the last issue, the weird cosmic goo pile that first killed Janet's father in her first appearance has turned Janet and Nadia into something. They just vanish into thin air, and then we cut to like someplace in the Red Room where we see like a young Nadia Trovea being indoctrinated into like the cult that is the Red Room. Then we cut to the night of Janet's father's murder, where she is now the prime suspect for what happened to her father. And now I'm just going to bury the lead on this part of the book because I think it's very important. The weird creature thing has locked both Janet and Nadia into alternate versions of their worlds. The key difference is, in these worlds, there is no Hank Pym to be their guiding hand. The thing that this book is all about in this issue has been these girls feel like they are only here in this present situation because of their connection to Hank Pym. They both feel obligated to be a part of his life. They feel like they need him in order to be relevant and to exist as they are today. So what if they were in a world without Hank Pym? How would people go through? How would things change? Well, let's find out, won't we? Instead of like avenging her father's murder, Janet is now the prime suspect in his death. Uh-oh, that's not good. We see this is all kind of like explained through Janice working with the big blob man. And he's like, this was weird. Why did you do this to me? And you just feel like, oh yeah, these are like the two villains from each Wasp's era, because Janice is, of course, the grandfather of Nadia. Interesting stuff. We do like to see that. We cut back to New York City in the present day, and Jarvis is like, okay, I left a message for Stark. He didn't get a hold of me. I might have to call Reed Richards, but he's off doing that thing where they like blew up like a big part of the crater in New York. And I'm like, wow, why is the Wasp book doing some connective tissue where the Fantastic Four did that thing where they made the Baxter building and the street disappear for like a year? And then it also brings up Avengers X-Men Eternals Judgment Day. I'm like, what? Because it's so funny, Jarvis got the thumbs down. He would have been axed. Wow. Weird stuff. So he has a change of plans. He's like, I think I know what's going on. Take me to Queens. So the taxi takes him in another direction. We cut back to see what Nadia's up to. She's doing pretty good in her little training there, but she's kind of getting picked on by somebody. They're like, ooh, you're the granddaughter of a famous spy. You must be like a nepotism baby. And she gets pissed off, but she doesn't really fight back from the pain. Same with Janet, who is just kind of like, okay, I do want to fight. What's the point in fighting these cops? They really have nothing on me. But you also see like, oh, they're suspecting it's poison. That was what she suspected first. And then we see that Rosalind Sharp is the attorney of her family. She comes in and gets Janet out of there. She's like, look, this case is crazy. It does look like, from a technical, logistical standpoint, you were somebody connected to your father's murder because now you inherited all of his money. So I don't know how much I'm going to be able to help you with all of this. We'll make sure you are a victim and that you are like not responsible for this. But Janet's like, no, I don't want to play the victim, I got nothing left. My father was murdered. I would like to avenge him. And that's what I'll have to do. I just have to avenge him. Because nobody else apparently gives a shit. They just want to blame me for it. Okay, that's badass. Love that a lot. I feel like it's mute to say at this point, but the artwork in this book is amazing and perfect and makes me happier than any other book out there. It looks so stunning and sharp. So cool. So amazing. Then we also see, okay, well, Janet's going off on her own to do things down to her. So is Nadia. And she's just like, well, everyone here sucks. I feel like I have to live up to something instead of having to like live down to a terrible like spy that my grandfather was. This all sucks. I should go about this a different way. Maybe instead of being like, you know, an operative on the level of everybody else here, I do things my way. So then we cut to see that Nadia is talking to the like den mother of like the organization of the Red Room, this really disgusting person. She's like, you know, Sasha, who's the girl that was picking on Nadia earlier, is now in a coma because something happened to her. You know, there was like a shock baton that kind of like amped up and hurt her. She's like, huh, weird. Are you accusing me of something? It's like, maybe. But I do like what you did there. So, you know, maybe it was just all a play for you to become the star pupil of our organization. Interesting. So, now that we see that they're both out on their own, doing their own thing, the Goo Man is like, they're not afraid. What? Why aren't they afraid? This should be like what's ruining them. Why isn't that happening? Why are they getting better because of it? They're getting better without the connection to Hank Pym? You mean he's not a central figure in their lives and they're still doing okay? That these women aren't like destined to be a part of his story? What? That makes no sense. So we cut to the Goo Guy returning to Janet's world, and now things are different where the military's like, I don't know what we're supposed to do. I don't know how we fight this guy. Well, Janet knows. She gets an ammonia truck, has like the mist leak out towards them, and it's like acidic, so it melts the guy. And then he starts to like die, and he's like, how did you do that? And the general and everybody in the military is like, what happened? And then we just see Janet Van Dyne shows up dressed like a detective. She looks amazing. If you're ever going to do one thing right, it's have Janet in perfect clothing, because that is what she should do, and that is how she should always look, isn't the best dressed in the room. So she's like, easy. I just figured out what it is to kill him. You know? He's an acidic-based life form. You just have to, like, burn him with shit. And it worked. And she's like, so, am I the suspect now? No? Good. Because now I'm going to go into another line of work. You can call me the Avenger. And she becomes the Avenger because, again, there is no Hank Pym to be the Antman, so she doesn't become the sidekick called the Wasp. She becomes the Avenger. We cut to the present day where we see that Jarvis made it to like the compound. He finds all like the weird robotic parts of the Janets. He's like, oh shit, what's going on? A fake Janet comes out, which we saw one of the earlier robots earlier do that. It's like, no, something with Nadia. She's still in there. We have to get her out. So he runs in, hoping to save her, opens the door, finds the Goo Man, instantly gets vaporized. Uh-oh. What's going to happen to Jarvis? What is he going to see? Is his vision going to be a world without Antman too? I guess. So weird. I love it. I do love it. It's very fun. So this is supposed to be a world where without Hank Pym they amount to nothing. But guess what? They've amounted to so much more. Like Janet founds a group called the Operatives, where she's like the head mistress or something, kind of like the role that we saw like the Red Room lady do for Nadia. And there's Thor, there's Hulk, there's Iron Man, and she's like in charge of them, which is everything I've ever wanted from a book, because that is what Janet should be doing anyways. So that's cool. We also see that Nadia is becoming like a top tier spy in the organization. And we also see that Jarvis is like a homeless guy who's like, I know the Avengers are real. They will find me. This is not what's happening. I love it. So goofy. It's like cool. I guess if we needed to throw a third person in here, why not Jarvis? But you see, the big Goo's like, well, 3 worlds. It's kind of hard to maintain. So what if instead I morphed them a little bit? So we see Operative Janet is on the phone with Dane. Doesn't say Dane Whitman or who it is, but she's been meeting with a bunch of people for her operatives meeting. She talked to like Hercules and Namor and Dr. Druid, even Monica. She's like, I'm just tired and I don't know what to do. I'm exhausted. This is getting crazy. I've been working hard. There's something missing. Something feels off about all of this. And then guess who breaks through the window? None other than the Black Widow herself, Nadia Pym. Cool. So, in a world without Hank to make them the Wasps, they are supposed to amount to nothing, but they both come out on top. We see that Janet fundamentally runs the Avengers, and Nadia becomes the top-tier Black Widow. So, what did we learn today? No matter what happens, both these women have agency, right? Did we all learn that lesson? That is the lesson, and it's fucking true. I love these girls. I love this book. It is so fun. It's just nice we have this happening. I've always wanted this kind of book for Janet, just something that takes her seriously. And there's literally a panel where the heroes of the Marvel Universe that are men are talking to her, and she is the one in charge. I'm like, yes, that is all I have ever wanted for this character. I can't complain about a thing of this. It is, in my honest, humbled opinion, the best Wasp book we could get this year. I don't know how they could have topped it. Does everything I want. The artwork is fun and cartoonish and stylish. Every time we see Janet or Nadia, they are the central characters and they look fantastic. It is everything I wanted in a Wasp book, and it makes me happy. So we have one more issue left. If you're still not on the Wasp train, jump on now. Wait till the trade comes out, I guess. I think what's going on is they're going to be waiting for this trade to end, and they're going to collect it in a big Antman and the Wasp book to celebrate like 60 years of them, because I don't think they completed the trade for that Antman book. But still, your local comic book store or your digital seller will have this book available for you. Because read it, it's important and fun. So, Wasp issue number 3. I am going to give a 10 out of 10. Perfect book. Now, thank you all for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And as always, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.